But as trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors' past performance, is not necessarily indicative of future results. Good morning. The links. Let's do it. Is this one? Growth forecast cut. Let's grab that right there. So you've blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Copy. Paste. All right. So we are back up to significant levels. Did move. So yesterday we kind of came up here and then fell back. And now today we're higher in Treasuries. And you can see that the E-mini has been taking quite a ride down. Well, if I can get filled right here, I will do it. But I don't think I will. So what are we saying here? Growth forecast cut to 1.3% from 1.9% and deceleration set to continue. 166 morning top, in my opinion. Must be talking bond. Yeah, I don't know. So we've had a pretty decent move down in the E-mini. Check it out. We're well below levels from the past 2 days, and we're opening up below all of this. So there's a chance it comes back. And you know, they try and fill in that gap, but if it doesn't, then you could get a really strong downtrend. So yeah. It looked like they was about to go up to the high, but nope. We may have trouble. We may have trouble with this thing. 06 would be okay. 06 half is too high. For me. For right now. So what we got today, we do have unemployment claims, of course. We got an FOMC member speaking and the 30-year bond auction. A couple of speakers today. No news on Friday. Did they just take a new high? Not quite. They're still rotating around 06 half, huh? Well, I'm a little early today, 3 minutes until the open. Maybe, oh, now 07 is doing it. Looks like this train ride's going without us. That's unfortunate. But hey, what you gonna do? Hmm. Well, there's a little bit of iceberging there at '07. Maybe they're not quite ready to go. I don't know. This is a decent amount of volume before they open, too. Okay, it's coming back. Coming back very quickly, in fact. Fighting here, but... Okay, so here's the open. Nothing... Nobody taking it right at the open, huh? That's interesting. Yes, appears to be making some kind of a recovery. I don't know. I think that, we got to keep in mind, there is a good chance that they're going to go and try and make it back up into yesterday's range in the E-mini when they open up. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. 5 year kind of looks like it's stirring the pot here. I think at some point they are going to go for new high. It's just like a question of if they're going to give us an acceptable place to take it. They want us to FOMO in right here at 7. And you see, they're making it weak. They want me to do it, but I don't want to do it. Sorts of crazy here. Wow, there's a big worn up at 160 again. Still there. It's been there. It's been there for a long time. Hmm. Hmm. Big one at 22 as well. What is it about 22? Well, then now we might see a level break set up here. Yeah. Gonna do it? You gonna do it, buddy? They're pumping that up. They didn't absorb stuff at 07 halves. But they're putting pressure on it. No. So this sort of thing always confuses me. I think confuses the right thing. Like, why aren't they just taking it, you know? They trade down 3,000 about. Huh. Like, that was a reasonably good breakout setup, and it didn't go. So we can be on our toes. Let's see if there's an iceberg somewhere back in here. Somebody willing to buy it to push it up again. Even he's coming back a little bit. Quiet day this morning. You know, I wonder. Well, I don't know how the weather is going for you guys back out east, but here in Utah, we got so much snow yesterday. It took me 2 hours to drive into work yesterday. 2 hours. And they said that we're supposed to get more lake snow, so I haven't really looked outside yet. But if the roads are bad again, I'm not doing that again. Because that was retarded. Well, they took that one without much resistance either. We could see. I think that I need to move this up to here. Why are you being like that? There we go. That's the open.
So it's under 3 minutes now until the bottom of the hour in US data. Initial jobless claims there looking for an estimate of 221,000 and continuing claims looking for an estimate of 1.733 million.
Mm. My voice is all cracking. My goodness. Like, what the heck? Am I 14 or something? So they're still balanced at 07, but it does seem like the buyers have an edge here. It does seem like maybe they don't even get back to 06. ES, I don't think is quite done with their pullback yet, though. I think that they're gonna want to pull back to 2714. Yeah. Okay, so that was a little forceful. Lots of downward revisions of growth forecasts in Europe recently has driven the euro bonds to highs. US is an exception so far, so this trend could be reversed or continued. Next economic releases are key. Okay, well, 2 minutes. I don't think I want to get in 2 minutes before the news. I am seeing liquidity is pulling a little bit.
One minute.
Okay, so what do we got? 220 is what we're looking for. More than that, it's bad. I don't know. This is going to be a number that's going to be hard to surprise by a ton, but we'll see. Okay, there. The E-mini did go up
10 seconds.
A little bit.
$234,000 there for initial jobless
so
claims.
slightly
Continuing
higher than
claims coming in
expected.
at 1.736 million. The prior revised to 1.778 million from 1.782 million. Just to recap that, then initial jobless claims coming in at 234,000.
234. We were expecting 220. Not super significant, but it is higher than expected. That means more unemployment claims than expected. Okay. We did get filled at a balanced place.
This is 4-week average there for jobless claims coming in at 224,75,000.
Okay, so that 05 half, I was wondering if it was possible to get filled there, and apparently it is, but it noticed that it's doing it because it pulled. So we gotta be a little suspicious of this. Yeah, it's not, yeah, I don't know. These ticks are kind of a lot of pulling and ticking down fast, perhaps because of correlations. So this could like continue down or reverse on us very quickly. So getting filled there is not necessarily the best thing, but I think that we're still within an acceptable spot. It has been a little flip here. Big order showing up now in ES.
To make everyone aware that Carney has now finished his presser.
Okay. So there's about 300 pulling off and on there. Well, there's ES up for another little step. Okay, they finally decided to take it up at 06, but the robots immediately take it back 1,000. And they're not putting a whole lot on the bid when they tick it up, are they? Okay, buyer getting a little bit more aggressive. Still not pushing through. And why would they? The 5-year is not facing the same direction yet. If they're ticking up at 21 3/4, then it would be a different story. Got a little push and pull going on here. Yeah, that's a little bit of a... Okay. So why does the 10-year want to buy there and the 5-year is not? Is this just random? There is a little bit of spreading. Just a teensy weensy went. Steepening. Can you show us your performance for the year? Yeah. Well, it'd probably be better to do that. I can just do it over here if that's okay. The easy.
And just an early heads up at 2:15 London time. Kaplan is speaking in Dallas. There is no text but a Q&A with both the audience and the media.
So overall, I'm right at 1,000 for the year. I think it's like 1,400 if you include December. Before
Just a
that,
reminder that
it wasn't doing as well.
Kaplan is not a voter in 2019 but does vote next year. Also as well, and then just another early heads up, at 2:30 London time, Fed Vice Chairman Clarida is speaking as well, although the discussion is on a paper he wrote in June 2017. But there will be a Q&A. The discussion is on a paper on global factor in neutral rate.
Okay, so that was a relatively aggressive sell at 05 half. That wasn't a strong offer at first, but it has built up. Given that there was an iceberg at 06 as well, that those two things are not good for our trade. Although the E-mini does appear to be possibly making a short-term pivot. I think that you're seeing a lot of trying to push people around at the edges. It's kind of what it looks like. Is that without the fees? Yeah, I think I have that one without the fees. I think it's a little bit less without the fees. I'd have to pull up a window, and I don't want to do that at the moment. I have to pull up Journalytics and have it do the whole thing, and it'll tell me how many trades we took, and then we could calculate the commissions. I'd have to say that's something that I really need to work on is less trades overall. Because there's a couple of days where I took a lot of trades and then didn't really have a whole lot to show for it at the end. Okay, so that's good. They upticked. They're selling into it, but it's still stacking. May go off again, but and the 5-year is really going back and forth here. I think the thing is, I guess one of the things that I want to kind of bring across to people though, like you got to keep in mind, I've had some periods of trading that were really, really awful, right? The market changes back and forth. And I think the point we're trying to make, and the thing that I hope that people take away from, is that you can be profitable trading from order flow, and that there's definitely things that you can see, even though I might not necessarily be the best at it. And it's all about what you see, the specific strategies that you come up with from looking at the action, and your ability to adjust to the changes in the market, right? So I don't want people to try and trade exactly like me. If you try and trade exactly like me, probably won't work for you, just because a lot of the way that I trade that way because of the way that my brain works and my risk tolerances and things like that. You know what I mean? So while I'm completely willing to show people how I'm doing, I'd rather people not focus on that so much, because trying to elevate myself by saying, hey, I'm doing really great, everybody should come and look at me because I'm such a great trader, is kind of beside the point. And honestly would rather not have that happen, right? Because if I was doing super, super well and a ton of people came in, maybe my methods would stop working because there's too many people watching you at that point and trading against it. You know what I mean? So, okay, so there was a good flip there. I think 06 is going to go bid. Nothing's traded at 06 yet. Okay, 600, but it didn't go bid. The 5-year did turn around there, though. This 21 3/4 was kind of where we were saying that they're not willing to buy it up there yet, and we did see some iceberging at 06 before. So let's remember that. They did pierce into this big order at 05. So they might be trying to build some support here and bounce off of it. That's kind of the trade that I'm going for here, at least. I guess another thing that we should keep in mind is that overall, in the past month, I should have pushed my trades harder. There was a lot of trades that could have been worth a lot more. So a lot of those mistakes have kind of been on that side. We've just been lucky to have a lot of really good trends. Oh, okay. 06 half is going really easily too. Okay, so I wish that I had taken it at 05 half, but our position is not bad. Still, I guess I still have a little bit of congestion. You can hear me breathing, like all this sort of a thing. Okay, there's quite a zipper here in the 5-year actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that zipper really started before the news, didn't it? Oh no, actually it was right at the news. Take that back. Okay, but they did tick up. It did tick up out of the zipper. In fact, I suspect that this weak bid at 06 might be people looking for fills. What's Forrest going darn about? Nothing's happening. Well, E-mini is just going sideways. That may be part of what's going on, is that they are just trading off of equity correlations. Hmm. Yeah, it kind of irks me at the moment that the 10-year and the 5-year don't seem to want to point in the same direction. Hmm. But the 10-year sold it down, and then the 5-year ticked it down too. And the E-mini looks like it's pushing up, so that may be why. Yep, in fact, 05 half pulling. Okay. Buyers holding it there at 05 half pretty aggressively. Let's not say aggressively, but they're not letting it stay down ticked until they offered a bunch there at 05 half. And now the offer is trying to pressure them out. You gonna break out the bottom this time? Yeah. So I think the problem here is I see a potentially bad setup in the E-mini. They could sell the E-mini today. They're probably going to try and make a push towards yesterday's range and fail to make it back above that 27.22 and then push down lower. But and then who knows what happens. But if that's the case, then there's not really a big reason for this to move for another 45 minutes. Hmm. Another tick up, and you can kind of see sellers trickling in and buyers happy to take it. But then it goes off again. Hmm. Well, I might be reading too much into that kind of an action because right now it doesn't feel to me like there's a whole lot of interest. I think that if they start ticking into '06 half, the interest would really pick up. But here at the bottom of this range, they're not. There's not a lot of interest in trading it. Yeah, okay. So even here at '04 half, although I do have to puke now. Snap. Okay. The next thing is '03 half. The VWAP. It's still, like we get down here, it's still really slow, right? The thing is that the E-mini could go all the way up to this big order here at 16 and then still reverse and go lower. Would not be an unusual move for them. So, hmm. Well, I didn't expect that to happen so soon. Some iceberging though. Hmm.
EU Parliament's Brexit appointment Verhofstadt says UK PM may reassure the EU side on Thursday there will be an Irish backstop.
Okay, so that was not supposed to happen like that.
Verhofstadt says our proposal is to try to solve this problem in political declaration.
A kind of part of the problem that I see here is that I did not see huge iceberging at 04 half 04. So, I put that order in there thinking that that shouldn't pull, and it did and went, and so I'm not very happy with the way that I got filled. See, and now they're even struggling to get back up at 04 half, which is also not good. Okay. Super weak bid. For this to reverse, you would have to start having the shorts that brought us down here start panicking and unwinding their positions. That at the moment, I think that they're still expecting to maybe get filled below the VWAP or something like that. That order at 03 has been there for a while, or it hasn't been there for that long. It was there just when we kind of ended up moving down. And I guess the E-mini is still moving slightly up, which is probably part of the explanation for the move. Okay, that's a better uptick. I hear that rabbit doing stuff. Doing rabbit stuff just above me. You hear that? You probably can't hear that. Okay. And 1,000 on there again. Hmm.
Gordon Rayner here on Twitter saying the Malthouse compromise would appear to be dead after Guy Verhofstadt says Theresa May assured him there will be a backstop.
Well, that was a good take right there, if it can hold. So they're not putting a ton on the bid still. I sold it and it was only 285. Okay, that's a little better. In fact, that's enough that I think I could try and jostle things around here. Okay. Yes, and 2,000 absorbed at that time. Okay. I actually don't like the way that I get filled. That says to me that we might keep going. I guess I could buy at oh 05 again if I wanted to, but there's enough of an iceberg there that let's just see if we can. Hmm. Okay. So seeing 2,000 at oh 05 again there is kind of disappointing just because that might mean that we just might sit here for a long time again. Did see a slightly more significant turn in ES that time though. You can see it right there. Real curve. Real move down. Still not filled. Probably true, Swiss. When we were looking at my performance last Friday, I think it was, and I've been doing pretty good since
That's
December.
flagged by our colleagues over at Forex Flow, Ryan Littleton, saying that the odds of a cut have moved up a touch to 4% versus 2.6% before the Bank of England.
I was doing pretty good since December, but the number of trades is way too much for how much it made. So,
And that is out to the end of December.
I'd have to say the way this spot is going is not so hot. I mean, I think I'm catching something, but I can't see that. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Interesting. So when I started this, I kind of thought that I was catching something like a shift, but now it just looks like it's just stuck in the middle of a profile, you know? Like, this isn't the point of control per se, but you can definitely see that a lot of, 45,000 or so contracts have traded here, and we are below the point of control up at oh 06. But between this spot and the VWAP, given that it's not just going, although I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I do have now some more confirmation long. So I don't know. Well, the O4 is behaving the way it should, but the O4 half is stacking too much. I guess this seller is not. Maybe he's not done yet. Well, even he did come up there. They're coming back up to that high spot, but they maybe overextended themselves just a little. Hmm. Five? Ooh. Yeah. When I saw that tick up, I was like, you have to put more than that on there, dude. Okay. That's a little better. 1400 is acceptable. Buyer looks a little bit more confident to me. And by a little bit more confident, I mean a little bit more confident than before. Now that they got that iceberg out of the way. Well, not a ton of market orders hitting into this O5. At least these are in agreement now. So there's that. Good. Oh. So that's interesting. So there was an iceberg at '05.
It's under 5 minutes till quarter past the hour, and Fed's Kaplan speaking in Dallas. Just a reminder, there is no text but a Q&A with both the audience and the media.
Hmm.
And just Italy Treasury here commenting on the fixed income, saying foreign investors bought 74% of the new 30-year BTP bond.
Hmm. So a potential shift in momentum here, but it's still going really slowly. They may come back down into this zipper area, like they might still tick down at '04.5. And then they could tick down at '04.5 and then recover it and still move higher potentially. So it's kind of an area that perhaps requires too much patience. Hmm. Still a lot of iceberging around here. Yeah. You think that they're done and then another one shows up, you know? This is a really poor area for trading, I think. Hmm. Okay. A little bit of pulling there for some reason, but more iceberg. All right. Well, that wasn't the most amazing uptick in the world, but it's an uptick, right? Okay, that's looking better. I'm liking that. And I'm liking '05 half pulling too. That's great. I wish Jigsaw was showing my blue in the right spot. It should be at '04 half, not the '05, but whatever. Like, the silly thing about this was that '04 half was where I puked, right? So, whole thing was kind of unnecessary. other than that I was risking a lot more at the moment. It looked like I was risking a lot more.
Seeing Philip Morris Q4 adjusted EPS there coming in at $1.25. That's a beat on estimates of $1.16. And Q4 revenue there coming in at $7.50 billion. I guess again that's a beat on estimates of $7.38 billion. Italy's Deputy Prime
Okay.
Minister commenting here on this geopolitics with France, saying that Rome doesn't want to argue with France and is happy to meet Macron.
That's looking good. So, I was thinking about writing this in Discord, but I don't really know how to put it down into text in a way that's concise enough for people. But what I'm seeing is we've now come up 3 ticks from that low area at 04 half. When we were there at 04 half, 04, there was not much interest in trading it, even though we had just moved down. And it felt to me like that move down was very much some short-term traders really pushing and trapping people and causing some stops down there. And now that we're and I said, well, they might not have much of a reason to move since some of this may be related to E-mini going down. And when the E-mini opens, that there's going to be, a little bit of a battle to say if they're going to go back into yesterday's range or if they're going to continue lower. Now what I'm seeing is that the Treasuries have ticked up 3 ticks, and the E-mini has not moved yet. So now Treasuries are making a move in a time period where I did not expect it to move, per se. I saw the momentum shift in a spot. Granted, it wasn't the best spot, but that's kind of an iffy subject, because kind of those flat areas where we rotate around one price a ton can be really great places to get filled, but they're not very good places for your probability. But I saw it, I took it. I'm just wondering what they're gonna, what was the driver for this? Is it because they are now that it's past 7:15 and now they're trying to load up in anticipation of selling the E-mini? Or is it just 3 ticks up for no reason and I'm just reading a whole lot into noise? I think, though, I like my position, and I definitely like this long above 06. So, okay, so there was a little bit of a significant downtick and in the E-mini, and they all reacted upwards here. There's this 2712. This right here, this price right here, is a single print. sorry, not it's kind of more of a sorry. It's an unfinished auction. Where is, I want to post this in equity index. Oof. Okay, so there's a tick up and a pretty good bit again. And they are above that level that they had a really hard time with in the 5 year. Because they had a really hard time with 27 and 3/4. I don't know where to put this. I think maybe here makes a little bit more sense than where it is right now, but okay. Another flip. I'm noticing that the book has significantly changed in the 30 year. Okay. So almost 1,000 lots stacking and pulling at 06 half. Guess I should note too that there was an iceberg at 06. Although, not so sure that these icebergs matter. We've seen so many today, it's just kind of been one of those days like that. Hmm. Well, there's about 1,000 pulling at 06 half, but there's about 1,000 that have traded into 06 half as well. And for it to tick up, I think that you're going to see at least 2 absorbed there. If not, see an iceberg and see 3. Okay. So there was 2, they cleared it, and immediately 943 sold it back down. Okay. Perhaps some sort of sell program holding it at 06 half. Okay. Good uptick. Oh, and they sell it back down. 461. So when I look at the tape there, that was interesting the way that it sold there because they had to clear it twice, even the way that happened. Okay, so now they're below that unfinished auction. Oh, it wasn't 27.12.75. It was 27.11.75. It was right there. Okay, now it's holding a little bit better. That's good. Not pulling away though. I guess E-mini goes up like a rocket at the open when it stays above 27.12. Hmm. Well, I do see that scenario for sure, right? I think scenario one is E-mini opens and there is a strong impulse lower and they test those lows, they break them and they keep moving and you end up with a downtrend day. That's one scenario. There's another scenario they open and they move up higher and they probably come all the way back up here to maybe like 27, 22 area and then fail to go higher and move lower. Um, but there's also the scenario where they just kind of try to sell down here and they're not able to make it. Maybe it's at 27.12. Maybe it's a little bit higher. I don't know. But I definitely see that scenario that you're talking about. The thing is there's an unfinished auction at 27.11.75, so there's a pretty good chance that they touch that, at least. There's a pretty good chance that they reach that. Whether or not they go for more is a different question. Okay, that's interesting. It's a downtick, uptick quite a bit going back and forth there now. I only took it down here because I saw the shift in momentum. I don't know what the E-mini is actually going to do here, but I'm kind of holding it just because the way that the bond is holding the bid is encouraging. I have been trying to be on the lookout for a an exit though. Okay. They tried to clear it there. Right, uptick, not a lot on the bid. And they put the 1,000 on the offer again. Yeah. 5 years having trouble at now at 22 quarter. And more significant offer at 06 half it, but then it almost all pulls. Well, I think I should have at least taken one off up here. Let's see if they give us another chance to do it. See there. There you go. So there's the unfinished auction, right? Okay. So they did do that. But it recovered it quite quickly. Snap. Okay. That's a good uptick. I got out because I got a downtick and I wasn't sure what it was going to do, but now that it's going up, I kind of regret doing that. I guess, I could try and buy it 06.5, but ugh. Let's just watch it. This is going to be a volatile area and it could turn really uncertain. If I can get at 06 again, I do want it. Okay, so buyers just starting to make their run. Let's see here. Well, I don't know if that's going to fill. It's kind of looking really positive again, isn't it? I don't remember now. Where is it? Oh, actually, I can't share that one. Never mind. I should have stuck to my guns. I mean, the E-mini opening, and I just didn't want to be involved in all that volatility because I wasn't 100% sure, but I should have stuck with it. Shoulda, coulda. I don't know if sticking with it was the strategy. I'm not saying that was the strategy, but I would have made more money if I had stuck with it. I don't like this. The problem is that I don't know if they're going to go for a new low or not. I'd have to say that the buying that we got there is pretty pathetic. There might be more, but they're kind of hovering down there. I think that there's a good chance that they go for those lows at some point. Yep. Yep. Feels bad, man. With that much back and forth at a level, I think that it's almost a given that they're going to take out 08. Well, hold on. They're not done yet. Oof. Okay. Well, they're having a hard time holding 07.5 actually. But I mean, they're gonna have to break the lows first for them to want to do that. Come on. I mean, you know that they're gonna do it. They're in ES, right? You know they're gonna do it. I don't know why they're playing like they're not. There they go. Okay. So now you got a number of unfinished auctions just through here. So they're probably gonna push all the way through this area. All the way through 2708. Swiss is cheerleading it because he wants it to go up. There's still some unfinished auctions from a couple of days ago, so I think that they're going to want to get at least to 2708 or 2707. I think it is. I don't know. My thing doesn't show that they actually ticked that for whatever reason. And now it's the bid that's trying to pump up and put pressure on the offers to pull. Yeah, ZB should see 16. I think that that's a good target. This spot right here, 24.5 in the 5-year. I'm on rhythmic. I was looking at it the other day, and because you guys were saying that some of the ticks seemed like slow, that might actually be video artifacts that you're seeing. So, I can't stay connected more than 10 minutes. Okay. So the E-mini is flipping around on us now. A little bit. Could be a further questioning if I should cancel my order at 07 or not. I think I should. Because when this was 3, I wasn't getting enough to even have gotten filled there, and now that they're ticking down, I really don't like it. I think that somebody is trading a reversal here. Yeah. That's not. I think that I should just okay. Wait it out. Well, this is interesting because you are seeing some significant buying impulses in ES, but they're not making much progress. Whew, okay. I'm happy with that because I've really let myself get messed up on that one before. You buy that up there and then it doesn't go up there and then you hold it for the -4. You know? By the way, good morning, Margin. Mary Jan. Isn't it funny how there was maybe a bit of an impulse change in the E-mini and they moved up a little bit, and so the treasuries came back, and now the E-mini is threatening to go back down there again in the E-mini, and the treasuries don't even care. I thought maybe that they were going to sell in there and I could get filled in an okay spot long, but now I'm not sure. No, 107, so it's fine. Okay, there's another step lower. Now there's some at 2706. Nerve wracking. I had a TP at 080 before this pullback. My TP order is, 257th in queue. So let's see what happens here at 075. Okay, so that is not what I wanted. Hmm. Still not what I wanted. I'm looking for some absorption right there. It's not happening. And I'm not sure if the E-mini is going to go down for a new low or not. Hmm. Okay, well that last little impulse looked very, very negative. Still not filled. There, now you definitely got filled. So that right there is not necessarily a good sign. It's good that there was a lot of volume willing to puke into '08, but it did not go bid. There was a pretty big iceberg there. Okay. Jeez. ES is pretty dramatic right now. Look at the cumulative delta chart there. This is pretty wild. So the price has been down, but the delta has not been straight down. They've been kind of trying to hold it here, with a range of about 2,000 cumulative delta contracts. Okay, not a strong offer when it went offer at 07.5. So still interest in buying so 07.5. That's interesting. Well, when I made that video talking about the different instruments and I said that the E-mini is full of drama, this is exactly what I was fucking talking about. This effing right here. See, the E-mini can never just do something, right? Like if she's gonna stop you out, she's gonna make you sit and sweat on it for as long as she can first. She wants to watch you suffer. That's how she gets off. There we go. Oof. So now that iceberg at 07.5, that 5, that was kind of what I was looking to see before. So now maybe are they going to try and pull a lever break at 08.5? Okay. They can only do this so long. Wow. Oh, guys, this is kind of starting to get amusing. Okay, so that was a pretty big hit into '07. So we'll just scratch it. Cool. I just gave my broker a ton of money. Like a whole $5. Okay, well now buyers are definitely going to make their run. That's a lot of delta. Hmm. For them to be flipping there is interesting. If the E-mini turns down again here, I'm not saying that there's a good probability of it or whatever, but if they did, I would think it would be super, super negative. Why is that green? That's a negative 15, but it says it's green. I don't know. ES is getting awfully quiet over here again. Like that was a good buy. Some good volume behind it. Comes up to the top of that range and it just completely dies down again. Okay, well, we did get a downtick here. Hmm. Do I have another link? Why does it not work anymore? Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, it's not working for me either. Okay. All right. That's not. I don't know. So what I'm seeing, the momentum downward in the E-mini is kind of what I was expecting to see. But there's a little bit too much back and forth here at 06.5. So it's that's making me a little bit uncomfortable. Okay, now the 5 years definitely. Hmm. I don't know. It seems to me like they want to go for more, but it also seems to me like there is a significant amount of skepticism against this. You know, like they ticked up, there was plenty of people willing to sell it, and vice versa. And the E-mini did just come a little bit short. See that? See how hard of a time they're having even ticking into 07? Okay, uptick. Seeing that much, trying to hold it down, position defense, and then it is able to tick up. So there's somebody there. They did not want it to tick up there. They're not panicking yet. But another tick or two, that's going to be more than enough fuel to push us to a new high. Now it's interesting that the E-mini did break a new low. It looks like they've got quite a bit of volume to come out here. Yep. I think all of this, all the way to 6620, probably. Where's what kind of key levels do we got here now? Probably they could get all the way to 2700. 2703 is a critical area too. Oof. And they already come back 2 ticks? Hmm. I think there's probably another step lower. I don't know though. It's a little unusual to see it fight like this. I don't really understand what's going on, and I'm having a hard time figuring out what I should be doing about it. Well, that was nasty. Hmm. Interesting. Okay, well, so if the squawk is not going to work anymore, I think that we're going to need to watch the Twitter a little bit more carefully, aren't we? So I will make sure that I'm all like set up for that tomorrow. Be able to watch it. To be able to watch the Twitters for you. See, here once again, they've pulled back and just kind of sitting here. Ouch. Not a strong offer. Although this in the 5 year is kind of looking like some sort of a head and shoulders type of a pattern. I don't know if it matches volume wise, but I'd say that that last move up was not as strong as the first one. Okay. I don't know. It's are you paying? Are you listening right now, Fip, or do you want me to type it? Oh, okay. So there was a bunch of guys here. Oh no, I have my pen. This is not my best trading, guys. I this one right here taking the full stop should not have happened. And they're pushing it right here, so this looks to me like shorts trying to get filled on their exit. Ugh, this is just so bad. Okay. It's just let it do its thing. What happens, happens. So do you see right here where there was price? Mark it in yellow, and you see right here. So there was about 5,000 contracts from here. Between here and here, they picked up 5,000 contracts. Right? And then they came back down to here. All those contracts basically puked, and that's what pushed us lower. Jeez. The iceberg. Sure. Why was that one? Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I really goofed up because this one that I bought at 045 the first time was a good trade, and I didn't hold it long enough. And if I had done that, then maybe I could have made. But then, there was so much ranginess and stuff in here. I took so many trades here, and if you consider two contracts on each one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you know, so almost $25 in commissions. Even if I had made a tick out of that, it wouldn't have been so good. So today has just been just a kind of day that I struggle with for sure. And see, there's a huge iceberg there at '05, so I wouldn't doubt if we came back up to like right there in that pull that we could go back up to the highs. But I mean, that's really unfinished. There was people wanted to buy it. I'm not quite sure why the people want to sell it so hard. Well, no, I take that back. I think I do. I think that there's some people that still think that the E-mini is going to make it back. We shall see. Brexit. British Prime Minister May says wants legally binding changes to the withdrawal agreement. May, it's not going to be easy to get this over the line. Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. I need a bigger screen is what I need. Okay, so how am I going to do this? I need to create a no, that's not what I need either. Add a column. A list. Create a list. The new list is going to be squawks. Okay, and I'm going to add a zero hedge, and I'm going to add live squawk ran squawk Donald Trump. And then there was one more. It was like FX or something like that. I don't know. We'll add them later, but when I see them show up. Okay. Done. And I'm gonna move this list all the way over to here. And then I don't need, guess I don't really need this anymore. Or this. And this one is not. Okay. Cool. So now I can watch that for us. Now the question is just how do I fit it all on my screen and still see you guys here on I wish that we didn't have the issue with the robot. I wish that I could say, hey, use the robot and, echo stuff between YouTube and Twitch, but don't echo it into, I just had a thought. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can take the bot and just mute him or something. I don't know. Okay, so now you can see here once again, we're seeing this setup, possibly set up. Okay, they did make a new high, and they did make a new high in cumulative delta. Now they're coming back down, and the question is, what you would expect to see is them come down to about right there and about right there, and then, move higher. Like that. But if we see some sort of divergence, then that means that there is a reversal. Democrats call for Senate committee to investigate Deutsche Bank. 2019 National Prayer Breakfast, and he got a Periscope link. That's President posting that. British Prime Minister says clear that I will deliver Brexit on time. If you say so, May. This is probably going to go on until the summer. That would suck. Well, they are much lower, and yeah, I think oops, that is not what I wanted. I wanted this, like that. Okay, fine, whatever. Okay, so there you can kind of see it doing it. Swing low. Not as low. But Treasuries just flat. I think the Treasuries came down a bit too much considering what happened, but that must mean that somebody really, really gave up. Okay. E-mini now fighting here to make a new high. They're trying to they're stopping it. I think that what I can do is I can bring you over here and make this small and bring the restream chat up. Bring it back like that. Good. Good. And of course. Okay, so now they did break a new high. Not a new high in cumulative delta yet, which means that there could be more to it. There could be more to it or a reversal, but there's a divergence. Open discussion with Theresa May. Backstop non-negotiable. Will never abandon Ireland. I welcome Jeremy Corbyn letter making a cross-party approach for the first time possible. From the hell we're in today, there's at least a last hope of a heavenly solution, even if it won't be paradise. Well, this right here is exactly why I wanted to do it with a stop order, but I misclicked. Yeah, fuck. Puke. So here is, we're following what scenario 2, right? We said that it would go lower on the open and then maybe reverse back up. Scenario 1 was it would go lower and it keep going. So now the area that we're looking to see is 2718 followed by 2720 and then 2723. Yeah, when we were way up there and I was seeing the selling, I shouldn't have been so skeptical about it. At some point, you are going to see a pullback in the E-mini. You will see what the treasuries do. They confirm it or not. Okay. So you're still seeing some iceberging there, though, for. Feds Kaplan says the U.S. has a super tight labor market. I guess I can still have this. Fed shouldn't be stimulating economy at this point. Some pulling there now. We're in the neighborhood of neutral. There's a good chance member states would accept UK's request for Art 50 extension of 2 to 3 months so long as there's a possibility of achieving progress and a withdrawal agreement at the end of that, but warns a longer extension could go against EU law. Put another one there. It's behaving the way we want. Okay. Well, that's not exactly what we should be seeing. I'm wondering why it's giving me this here. Because the ES doesn't look like it's done. Yeah. It's odd. Well, now it's thickened up a little bit. Okay, getting a bubble here in the E-mini. So they might be taking a little bit of a pause here. May said to have asked the EU for a time limit on Brexit backstop. Okay. Well, now my position looks a lot better. Nope. Only 728 to sell it down. Jeez. And that buying there in the E-mini was a little bit, what, how do I put it? It's getting a little crazy there. Interesting that the 045 is still acting weak. The International Monetary Fund says Venezuela's economy expected to keep shrinking in 2019. No, really? Socialist countries' economy continued to shrink? Who would have thunk? You see, they're kind of. The E-mini keeps acting like it's going to pivot there. And it's not quite doing it. And the treasuries tick up. It's been here for a long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Ouch. Well, they keep pulling that 04 and then it goes bid again. You know what I mean? Like they're still in the zipper. So that particular downtick is not necessarily the end of it. In fact, that would be the sort of thing that they would do if somebody wanted to get filled lower and they thought that they could trick everybody into filling them. Let's see. And now 045 is getting weak again. They're fucking with us, dude. Fed's Kaplan, high national debt will be a headwind in longer term for U.S. growth. Do you think that Congress will ever fix the debt problem? What will it take? What will it take to get the U.S. Congress to take the debt more seriously? See, 045 still looking weak. Well, they're stacking and pulling like 500 on it. Okay. They decided to buy that. There's more. Okay. So now 3,000 at 045. That's not necessarily a good sign for higher. Of course, if they can get up through it and hold a good bid, then it could be a reversal. But if that's what happens, there might be another 1 or 2,000 on there for it. Yeah. So there was 3, and they were still stacking on it. Okay, so 3,700. They hold the buying down, but then they don't sell much. Yeah, it's like I feel like that today is that one of those things where like you see stuff happen. Like we were up there at the highs, the E-mini was selling. It seems like we're at key levels, and so everything is kind of triggering your brain to be like something's going to happen, but then nothing ever happens. You know, and overall, it's just been a really slow day. You know, you know. Well, the E Mini is topping off big time. Doesn't mean that the uptrend is done, but that could be if they break like 24.13 or so. You know, yet I feel like today was not a good day to join icebergs. Oops, Discord's kind of having problems. I'll be right back. Okay, well, so here's where being able to identify the price is really important because if we had bought at '05, we would not be very happy right now, would we? But it's still pretty iffy. I don't know. I think the 5-year is kind of the thing holding us back right now. That's the E-mini making its pullback. I'd have to say what we're seeing right now so far is incredibly weak. I am gonna stay here. I'm debating. Well, there was a pretty strong take at 04. And it goes back up. You see, the whole game here, the whole game is to try and convince people to sell at 04 and buy at 05. And so there's going to be all sorts of games and stuff to try and get you to do it. Until at one point it breaks, and then it actually is safe to sell the price. Which we might be reaching that point. I don't know. See, they did go offer, but then nobody traded into 03.5 and it ticked back up. And now if ES doesn't go here, things are very precarious. It could go for a new high, it could not. Okay. So the neck is 27.1350 or 13.75. Okay, accelerating sell volume. That looks like a, yep. That's a confirmed head and shoulders pattern. Okay. Still some skepticism on the side of the Treasuries. They're still trying to sell it, but I think that the buyers are getting aggressive. Look at them hold that. I love that. It's a crap. Okay, well, the target for this, let's not get overly excited. The target for this is going to be somewhere around 27.10. I'm too lazy to sit down and do all of the math, but it's going to be like this node right here, like 27.11, 27.12. Yeah. In fact, I think that they already touched it. White House advisor Larry Kudlow, pretty sizable distance to go in China trade talks, says Fox Business. Stocks hit on this. We noticed, though, that the market is not as concerned about talk about the China trade deal as they have been in the past. There was times where a comment like that would be like, 8 ticks just like that. This is just, yeah, I'm gonna wait this out. I was debating how when I was gonna go into work today, because yesterday it took me 2 hours to get in, and I'm looking outside. My road outside is shoveled. Well, not shoveled. It's been plowed, but like the sides of the road are really icky. So I know that the drive into work is still going to be nasty, and so I'm thinking I might wait until maybe even 11 So like maybe we could stick around until the Treasury auction, and then I could go in, and then I think that it would be a better drive. Well, okay, so the E-mini recovered back from that pretty well. There might be another push down. They might want to go all the way down to 2708, frankly. Okay, so there's a 1000. Yes, and they're going lower. That might be what we need to get that push to 2708. Wirecard shares sink as Theranos-style whistleblower exposes accounting fraud. Kaplan, deploying negative interest rates in the U.S. could cause problems for the financial system. And Zero Hedge says CC Europe, Japan. because they've both done negative interest rates. You see, they're still selling. But look, that bid right there at 05 is like, I'm not leaving it all. In fact, it's like he has an iceberg. For it to be sitting there at 3,000, that would mean that he would have to have an iceberg sitting at 05, telling it to only show 3,000 and maybe having 10,000 behind it. So that's a really good sign for us to see the bid that strong and it's iceberging like that. That's somebody that really, really wants to buy. Of course. Who's selling into it? Good grief. I want to know. Who's selling this? Who sells that? To me, it seems crazy, but there's a reason that somebody does that, right? Okay, so ES just broke another swing low. Treasury's not quite upticking yet. I guess part of what might be going on is there might be a lot of profit taking. Man. You know, like he might have bought 04 and he's just looking for the few ticks, and that's that. Okay. I think they've still got a bit to go. I don't know. The way that it's starting to trade now. Oh boy. The way that it's starting to trade now, I wouldn't be surprised if the E-mini makes a new low. I feel like the bid might just pull and fall in the next 500 contracts. I might be wrong though. They held really well at the low of that profile, but it feels risky. $73. Okay, they finally busted the iceberg and they are bid with 1,000 contracts. And it doesn't stay bid, but very, very weak offer. Very, very weak. Looks like ES is like, okay, fine. Let's do it. Let's go for it. We're close. We might as well. Oof. Oof, that looks really good for a new low now. Icebergs are not good for predicting. No, they're not. Okay, so there's stops. Hmm. Let's just give it room to breathe. So this time period now, the next 30 minutes, going into the European session close. Well, okay, so that's not a good downtick. That's not what you want to see. There is some orders below us in the ES that seems to be firming up. So I think that some people are expecting another move lower a little bit. I think. Yeah. Stocks rebound off morning low and buy everything fashion. F5. Stocks tumble through key technical level after Kudlow warns on trade talks. I don't know. I mean that they are pointing out something interesting. I mean, the market did fall off there on Kudlow talking about the trade talks, but when you looked at where we were at and the pattern and everything, right? Kudlow was like somewhere around here. We were already thinking, hey, something's happening up here. So I think that I don't know if the news was really what made this happen. It kind of looks to me like somebody was always, I don't know. There definitely did buy down here, though. I mean, look at that. It was just like, I don't think that it was a very positive looking run up. Like if Kudlow hadn't come in here and held things back, there would have been a chance of it overheating. That's my thought. Hmm. Bum, bum. Oops. Gotta make sure I can still see that Twitter. There they go again. Okay. Well, they went bid at 06, but it's not. They're still being. They're still just acting range bound, really. I don't know. You think so? They did push down that low, but it didn't like fall for like a whole another leg lower. Um, I think that they definitely have it in them to make it down to 2,700, if not 2,696. Look at that. Okay, now we were finally getting some buy on our side. So now that we are above the open again, there's somebody buying it. But like we've been saying, and like who was it that said this? I think it was Fib Futures. Hmm. I think he deleted his comment. Oh no, yeah, there he is. Fib Futures iceberg, not good for predicting. Very true. In this kind of action, it's always like, having the iceberg is just good, that your level is going to hold. Um, it increases the chances of your level holding, but like, how much does it actually increase the chances? Well, if we say that it's like 50-50 here, then maybe there's like a 55% chance that we move higher. It's not like a huge edge. They did not. They're pushing down there at the bottom, but they're not going down to the lows yet. See, even that one, they yeah. So it getting like that right at the low is not something you want to see. So it's down there at the low. There should be people interested in buying it. If not, then you get that. It's safer for me to go make some breakfast. So by the way, we never saw Ace today, so I don't know if he ever took a trade. It was hard for us in Treasuries. It was probably difficult for these people trading the E-mini too. Here's the thing, this auction up here at 08 is unfinished. So of course the E-mini could reverse at any second, but I think that at the very least I need to get 08. You're still going. Here comes 2,700. There's 589 on there. Almost certainly they'll go for that. And not all of the volume is up. Okay. Not quite ready to go for it again that time. Like I said, you had momentum and it's being like that. It's slow, but they're not able to even make it back up past the resistance. That is not super positive. UK Prime Minister spokeswoman Brexit Minister Barclay will discuss alternative arrangements to backstop with EU's barrier on Monday. Uptick. There's a lot selling there at '07, but they do hold it. Yeah, they definitely want 2,700. Yep. Little tiny stop run there. That stop run might be what you need to stop this slide. Let's see. Okay. So that was a little bit different there. That ticked down in Treasuries, wasn't it? That thing right there is like a slow slide on a lack of interest. Okay, they took that one and it only took 822. Hmm. '06 is the open again. There might be some support here. And I'm wondering, is the E-mini done? We're still right here, pretty quiet, I'll say. You know, like I'm still getting the feeling like there's not a lot of buy interest. And so anybody that just bought there is maybe just is thinking about taking profits, And then you could just slide lower again. Jeez. Yeah, how quickly they came back there? Hmm. Treasuries buying again. Look at that. Oh, I didn't hold that. Five-year here is kind of. It feels like it's toying with us. Still slow over here. Ah, jeez. They slip like four ticks there. That's basically like somebody trying to climb out and slipping back into the hole. Because there's nothing underneath him to support him. Well, the 5 years not showing it like that it's going to just jump up again right here. See some support, but okay. They're buying chunks of it, but it's just not staying bid. Come on. Oh, that's a little better. Ton traded into it that time and it held. Okay. So there's a little bit of interest here in the mini. They want more. Definitely want more. A little bit more defense there than in some of the past lows, though, isn't it? Okay. There you go. Wait, what? That's bullshit. That was weird. That has never happened to me before. Equities fell. And as they fell, then all of a sudden the Treasuries decided they're just going to sell 2 ticks. So we were at 065. We were bid 065, offer 07. They sold through an iceberg 5K, and it just drops 2 ticks. And that 5K dumped on it fast too. It was a 06 half. There were no big orders in it either. Okay. Tesla on March report. Pelosi gun legislation will be sent to the floor this month. Edwards, investors should brace for a world of negative rates, 15% budget deficits, and helicopter money. Well, I would be totally okay with the helicopter money. Wouldn't you? I mean, obviously it's not good for everybody else, but for us it's a good thing, right? Get in on the QE trade again. Okay. Let's get that 06 halves bid again, please. Yeah. Another low. This move lower in the E-mini is very slow. ES likes to run. So for them to just be slowly but surely blowing through level after level, you know? And I have to, and you have to realize that to get here, you washed out all of the longs. So now, you know, you could get people piling on at some point. Jeez, look at that. I wonder if you're going to start seeing sweeps now. Huh. Whoa. Okay, that was fast. Whoa. Okay, I'm not touching anything. I'm not touching anything. That was 2 strong tick, very, very, very strong ticks up. It was like somebody just stepped in and it was like, okay, let's stop fucking around. the thing is, despite all the craziness that we've seen today, I have not necessarily seen anything in treasuries that is like the crescendo stop run, you know? I've seen a couple of stop runs in e-minis, but they were just kind of little small ones, and then they just kind of sit there, you know? So I don't know how much pressure there is available here in treasuries, but above '08, it could get really hairy. Well, I need to text these guys and tell them that I'm going to come in at lunch because I don't want to drive on the awful, awful roads. See, now '06 half is not. '06 half is not as thick as I would want, but I am seeing some strong bids trying to hold the market up, and the ES just keeps going. Like, look, they're able to just touch it. No big deal. Still in treasuries, they take profits, huh? Okay. They're still not sure. This is like what I'm seeing. The action that I'm seeing in treasuries looks like an ascending triangle to me. Jeez. The E-mini has still been doing like the slow fall, slow drop lower. That move down had a little bit more cumulative delta. So now I'm starting to see maybe a little bit of panic in the E-mini. And they take off 6 half. That darned 5-year. I guess we should keep in mind that these are the levels that we were at on Friday when we had that really, really good jobs report. So I'm guessing that the people that bought off of the really good jobs report aren't willing to give it up yet. Huh. Lots of back and forth now. 06.5. Okay. I would like to keep it, but that should be red. I would like to keep it, but I think that I need to take off some risk here. I'm really worried about this 06 not holding. Okay, well now it's kind of giving me maybe. We got 3 minutes, 7 minutes. I think they go for it again. Come on. You know they're not done yet. Okay, so there they did it again. It's funny, it's like a little kid like going and touching it and then running back. Decent amount of profit taking here though. I think that the London traders are just getting out of all their positions. There's that big order down there. I think that they're going to go through that too. Okay, that was bad. Okay, well, that was a crazy day, and that was like terrible trading, but only -3, I guess. Too many, way too many trades today, though. That was 6 should not be going off her so easily. So this right here, this should not have happened. EU official close to today's talks in Brussels tells me the Prime Minister did not make any concrete proposals today on a way forward, and that she gave no clear answers on how she imagined a timeline going forward. Let's pull this over here. It was 4x Live was the one that I wanted to add. Yeah, no, 5 half goes now too. What are they going to do? That came back on very little volume. E-mini still continues lower. EU leaders, the Prime Minister met today in Brussels, sees the opportunities that say the Corbyn proposal for cross party cooperation around the softer Brexit could be a good way forward. Okay, that was something else. Oops. I guess it already. That was a real strong push down. Trump is highly unlikely to meet Chinese President Xi before March 1st trade deadline, sources say. That's real bad. So I'm going to post that one. Right at 9:30 too. Hmm. Yeah. Now you're really like well below those support levels. So who knows how far this could go, but this is extremely bearish for equities. Okay, there is some interest here now. There was some interest there. It's really honestly quite something else that they're not just gangbusters higher here in treasuries because like think about we were at this level, well before the E-mini broke the lows. And the E-mini has moved so much lower. And treasuries are not going up. Very bizarre. Very bizarre. And huge icebergs on the offer still. Okay, but now they are starting to do some stoppy action. Look at that go, man. Oh my gosh. Somebody's getting caught with their pants down. This '08. They're not going to go for it yet, huh? Are they going to do a level break here again? Well, yes, probably. And they're setting up for it again at least. It's a little bit of a question of if the ES has another push down left in it, but man. What's that? Hmm. 5-year doesn't seem to agree with me. Ah. Come on. I just want to see the promised break. You've been toying with me now. How long has it been? When did they first do that? It was like way back at the equities open. It was. Okay. So 2 hours you've been dicking around with this thing. Just fucking buy it. Bust that high. Finish the auction. It's just sitting there. Oh, not quite, not ready to do it yet. Still. The ES is quite volatile here. Okay, went bid again. Okay. 5-year went bid. They're just being all sorts of wishy-washy here, aren't we? Good grief. Hmm. Nope. I don't like that. Humanity is recovering. At some point, they're going to try and make another impulse lower. Hmm. Well, I think I didn't get the move that I wanted, and it's not cooperating, and I need to get out. So, did we get the auction results yet? That comes at 11, right? 11. Still a long time from now. Let's check on the roads. Hmm. Man, what a day. Sure has been range bound. Well, I tell you what, we've still got a lot of people watching, so thanks everybody that's staying tuned here. Y'all been awfully quiet today. Oh, you know what? There actually was a couple of comments and restream chat just wasn't showing them to me. I'm sorry. Let's see what we got. Oh, again, I had a big conversation. I feel like I just missed out. I'm so sorry, guys. When should we add on our contracts? Yes, good question. The best question. I don't know. But I'm doing it based on how sure I am that the spot I have is good. So, like, if I have a spot and I think, there's a zipper here and I actually, how can we do this? Bring this over here. So you see how this has been going back and forth? So, let's say that I got long at L5 half. Okay? I get long at L5 half and it's doing the things that tells me that they can't get past 05. That's reason to be long there. For sure. Okay, so right there, that could be a long. Okay, they hit into it, but there's profit taking there. It's not just going, it's holding. Okay. Now, if I also thought there was a really good chance that the E-mini was going to go down for the lows again, which at this point I'm a little hesitant on because that's a real V-shape recovery bottom type of patterns, which I don't like. But let's just say that I had some inkling that this is going to go lower and that this 08 was still going to get busted through. Then there would be reason to buy a second contract for me. That's how I've been doing it, but I've only been messing around with this for a little while, and of course today didn't do so great. Oh, Uzi says, that's me. I'm sorry, I have like 10,000 contracts to dump. That's why. I had a nice long on ZB earlier today at 146.02 and rode it to 08. I bailed a little early, but that's okay. The 30-year auction today, so I wasn't expecting much. But this week has been pretty good. I got tagged a little on 3 trades, but made it with only -1 tick, so I wasn't mad about it. That's good. Break even is better than losing. Yeah. You know what? To only be -3 today, should consider myself very lucky. I just wish that I had done it on less trades. You know what I mean? How many of these were I got some and then I gave some up? I guess because it was so range bound, that's why, but that is not the best way to trade, is it? Do you still get that rush of adrenaline when you enter the first trade of the day? It feels like my heart is going to run out of my chest. It's easier as I place the second trade on. And so, for me, it's kind of random as to whether or not I really feel that I want to see like the anxiety. You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter if I'm on simmer or live. But sometimes I just get really anxious about a level holding. And it's just kind of the thing, I guess. I feel like I can have a little bit of anxiety sometimes, so, I was waiting for Seth to take the profits. Oh, yeah, and I never took it. I think, okay. Miss Z, I think that's what that name is intended to be. So first of all, sorry for like ignoring you guys. It was, see right here, I'll show you what happened. Here's restream chat, right? And it's not showing me everything. And then here's YouTube actually there, and it showed me. Okay, so do you think Top Step Trader is better or a live account with $2,000? So I would say, first of all, it kind of depends on what you're trading. So if you trade ZN, you could totally do it with 2,000. I think so. Only trade one contract. Of course, I would expect that you would want to have some experience underneath of your belt to make you think that you can at least keep it break even for a long time. But yeah, you can get a lot of good experience out of 2000. Um, and I think ZN is too long. You might be right. Well, so I think Smash the Bid ended up being right on this one, and I think I ended up being wrong, right? So Smash the Bid is saying, I think the reason for your current day and so many trades is because you were too focused on ES. And I was very focused on ES. I, for whatever reason, really thought that ES was going to go down. And yet the treasuries didn't really give it to us today, did it? And granted, it tends to be like that, but not like this. Holy crap. It was really kind of unusual, especially that when the E-mini plummeted and treasuries actually sold. I wonder if that's because the robots think that China trade war news is negative for treasuries because then China won't buy as many treasuries. You know what I mean? So I remember that happening before. Maybe that's why that happened. And thus maybe also why this news didn't push treasuries up as much. Please keep trade live. Yeah, well, I plan on always doing this. I love it too much, and I really enjoy talking with you guys. I feel like when you're trading, it's like there's nobody to talk to, and like the community that we've built around this is like a really good thing. So we're always going to keep this going. At some point, I think if I start doing well enough, we might have to change some things, right? You know, like there might become a point where it's a liability to give too much of my opinion or to let everybody see what my trade is. I don't know if there's regulations around that or not, but you know, we'll do what we can. Anyways, so I was gonna say, if you're trading ZN, you can totally get a live account and trade it with $2,000, and it won't last forever. It would really be better if you were trading with 5,000 is really what you want to get to. But you can do it, right? Top step. The problem with ZN, at least the way that I've been trading, like you can see the way that I've been trading. If I go back to, let me take this off, and I'll change the beginning to the beginning of December. Okay. And refresh. And it's going to take it a second. It's going to take it a while here. Okay. So over the past 2 months, I've made 1234. So not that great when you consider that it was 2 contracts, right? So how are you going to pass the combine on that? You know what I mean? You could pass the combine if it keeps up all the way through March and February, then that would be great. But then the summer doldrums are going to come around, and then it might be completely different. You might not do as well. I did not do very well after April last year. So that's the problem with the combine right there, is that it takes too long to do it on ZN. If you were doing it like on oil or the E-mini, then maybe you can do it, but then you have to realize that you're taking big risks to do it, right? You're taking on a lot of risk to be able to reach their targets in a month. And if you don't reach their targets in a month, then that's $150 you could have put down. 2 months, that's $300, you know? And it would probably take me double that. So that's like $600 that you could have put into your account. That's a lot. So that's why I think for treasuries, you're probably better off just saving. If your thing is oil, you're going to need such a big account to trade oil that if you don't have that money, you're unlikely to just save it up. And so you're better off either one, doing like me and just switching to a less volatile instrument, or trying to pass the combine. Anyways, that's the full answer. I hope that answers your question. And thank you for showing in. But anyways, so I wanted to go back. Smash the Bid was saying you're too focused on the ES. Yeah, I think so. I mean, really, if I wanted to make that trade, I should have been short the E-mini. But at the same time, it's not like there was any shame in some of the those. I caught good trades and I caught some good spots too. I think that the problem was that when it came back, I was way too dedicated to it breaking '08. And I really, really let it go and kind of let it ride for a long time after it was clear that it wasn't going to go. And then when it was going back, I kept thinking, oh, it's just like a teeny little pullback and then it's going to go. And so I wasn't catching the right spots on the way back and losing a lot on the way back. So I think that I made a lot of mistakes. But I also think that you have a better point there that like when you're too focused on ES, because ES likes to fool around with you, I take more trades. And really, with the number of trades that we took today, is pretty ridiculous, right? To be down. So we've got to work on that much more. Okay. Well, anyways, thank you guys for watching. I think I covered pretty much everything that was there in the chat. I'm sorry that I didn't see any of that. And I hope that was the squawk thing useful. I hope we did catch those news like right away. It was good. Like we knew what was going on. So I think I'm going to continue to have that up in the future. And yeah. And thank you guys all for. Yeah, Roger C says top step trader rules are very restrictive. One little slip up and you have to start over. Yeah, the funny thing for treasuries here is that even when trading two contracts, I don't think I ever come even close to hitting their limits, actually. But that's the whole thing, is that I'm taking less risk than they want you to take on the combine. When you look at like what their profit targets are, which are insane, you really have to take on big risks to pass. In my opinion, you're predicting that's true and not reacting to what's going on. You convince yourself there's going to be a pullback, but then you're going to trade the pullback at any little order flow signal. Yeah. So what do I do about that though? Because I feel like that's just kind of the way that I trade, and that's where it's been working. Is I look at the volume profile, and I kind of look at what's been happening, I guess, and I kind of have a theory about where it's going to go. Today, I thought we opened up much lower, so equities are going to try and make it into the previous day's value area, and if they can't, then there's going to be a big failure and a trend down. And that is exactly what happened. Exactly what happened, really. So the equities made a big rush up, and then there was a head and shoulders pattern, and it fell apart. And the news was just kind of like an ancillary thing. Like maybe they already knew that was going to happen, right? And then when it gets to those spots, I look at the order flows to see if I see something confirming it. That spot is okay to take it, So maybe I need to just focus on the upticks and the downticks and the price action a little bit more to ensure that I'm not going against the momentum. I think that those trades that I lost big on, I was going against the momentum. I felt confident about the spot, and it wasn't what I thought it was. And they went through it for a tick. Probably should have gotten out of some of those. Yeah. That's always going to be a problem, though, too, because I am a little impulsive. I like to click it. That's just the way my brain works, I guess. Anyways, I appreciate the advice, though. All right. Well, I do want to drive into work now. I'm pretty sure that all the traffic is cleared, and I have to go post my cryptocurrency notes. So I'm going to go do that, and I will catch you all tomorrow. In the meantime, as always, stay profitable, friends.